It just shows when you wicked. So stop. What are you eating? Oh my god. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be discussing my 2025 reading goals and kind of going through 2024, even though I didn't start doing this until pretty late in 2024. But I'm going to do it nonetheless. So to get started, let's start with 2024. 2024, I read 37 books. Not great. I read about a book a month until September, and that was when I started this, and that's when I really kicked up my reading. I was in a pretty bad reading slump for the entire year last year. But then I started doing this and kicked it up a notch. Also, if you see Conehead walking around, it's her own damn fault. She put her foot through a window. So, she's Conehead from now on. Hey, go lay down. Azul, go lay down. Go lay down. She said no. Anyways, so, okay. I lost my train of thought already. We're not even 2 minutes into this, and I've already lost my train of thought. Oh, reading slump. I was in a massive reading slump for pretty much all of last year, and then I read Iron Flame, this year, sorry. And then I read Iron Flame, and that put me back into a reading slump. Let's do my best and worst books of 2024. My best, or my favorite book of 2024 was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I am not going to go through the synopsis for anything I talk about in this video. If you want to know, please go look it up yourself. I'm really bad at giving the synopsis. This book, I listened to this book on audiobook, which I would recommend over reading it, because the audiobook is phenomenal, especially with one of the characters. The way they do his language is really well done, and I loved it. This book was phenomenal. If I were to recommend a sci-fi to anybody, this one, because it was just so real. Like, it was just so, I really don't even know how to describe it. It was just so, I don't know. It just captivated my attention. I really loved it. This was my favorite. I gave this 5 stars. My worst, or my least favorite book of 2024, which may not be a surprise, is Hyde. This book was just so god-awful. Like, I really don't know how to describe it. I've never struggled so much to get through a 200 and something page book. I was struggling. I was pushing through this book because it's not very long. I wasn't going to DNF it because it's so short. Honestly, I probably just should have DNF'd it because it was so lackluster. It was so boring. The, monster, which this is not a spoiler. They talk about this on the back of the book. The monster is the worst monster I've ever heard of. Like, apart from maybe, it being a literal actual person. Actually, that would have been more interesting. This was the worst monster I've ever, it was just so, okay. And, I just could not care less. I really just did not care about the main character, or really any of I guess they're main characters too, but they're more side characters. I didn't care about anybody. I really could not care if they died in the book at all, or if everybody died and that's how it ended. This could have been so much better, and it just sucked. It sucked so bad. So I don't recommend this book. I actually demoted it, the rating. I can't remember what I gave it before. I think it's been demoted to either a 1 or a 1.5, which is still probably generous. I hated this book. It was so awful. So, moving on. My goals for 2025. First, my goal is to read 100 books. I don't think there's ever been a year where I read 100 books, and I would very much like to. And I feel like it's totally doable for me. That's about 8.5 books, 8 to 8.5 books a month. And I think in a month where I read consistently and I'm utilizing audiobooks and stuff like that, I feel like that's totally doable for me. So whatever, I just have to, I guess, not get in an awful reading slump. But yeah, so I would like to read 100 books. That's my book goal. Another goal, read my physical TBR. The books, minus like 3 of them, the books I have here in my 25 for 2025 are all from my physical TBR, apart from the ones that have not yet been released, but I'll get to those. So I'll go through my 25 for 2025 in a second, but I need to get through my physical TBR. Excuse me. I need to get through my physical TBR because I just keep buying books and not reading them, and continuing to buy more books and not read them. So I need to actually read the books that I'm buying. Another goal, finish my series. I have quite a few series that I'm in the middle of, or even at the end of, that I literally just have one book left, and then I'm done. Azula, please stop dragging your cone everywhere. Read consistently. I am so bad about like reading so much and then I will just stop. So I need to stop doing that. I need to actually read consistently. I feel better, and I want to listen to more audiobooks instead of like watching TV. I work 12-hour shifts, so I will usually just cut on a show. Like right now I just cut on like Grey's Anatomy. That's my current show that's in the background, but I need to stop doing that. I need to actually like listen to an audiobook or something because I need to be using my time more wisely. I need to cut my screen time, even on my phone. I need to cut my screen time down and read instead, because I have a Kindle that is not being used right now. I have audiobooks that are not being listened to. I have actual books that are not being read. So I need to actually read my books. Another bookish goal, no, sorry, not bookish goal, but a goal is to make more friends. I don't have any friends. I just work, and then I don't even really do this. I'm gonna start doing this, but I'd like to make more friends and like go out and do stuff because I'm going like stir crazy. Let's get into my 25 in 2025. So I have a physical book, or they're all on my physical TBR apart from 3 that are not released. I already said that, but the 3 are Enchantra, which is the second book in whatever series Phantasma is, and that comes out in April. And then we have Wild and Wrangled, which is the 4th book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and that comes out April 15th. And I assume this is going to be the last one, and then she'll move on, but I don't know. And then we have The Night and the Moth, which comes out May 20th, and that is the same author that wrote One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, and I loved those, so I should love this one. I hope I love this one because I will be buying it on May 20th. I'm going to get into my 25 for 2025. I'm going to try and not go off on a tangent for each one of them. That's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to try. First up, we have A Darker Shade of Magic. I've had this series on my shelves for so long. I actually started this one, and then I got maybe like a chapter in high school. A long time ago. I started this and never finished it. I have all of them. I need to read this. Next book, The Deep by Nick Cutter. I have 2 of his. I have this one, and then I have The Troop. This one just sounded more interesting, so I added this one to my list of books. I don't really know a whole lot about it. Next is The Millhouse Murders. I read The Decagon House Murders last year in like November, and I really enjoyed it, so this is the second one in that kind of like series. Then we have This Is How You Lose the Time War. I've heard great things about this. It's more of a novella than it is an actual book, but I'm adding it anyways. I've heard really good things about this. I've also heard people say it's not really for them, but that's okay. I guess it's a novella, so it's not like it's crazy long or anything. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. Next we have The Ritual by Adam Neville. I watched the movie on Netflix for this one and I really enjoyed it. I know it's different and I know this is supposed to be better. So I got the book. Then we have Bad Man by Dathan Auerbach. I've talked about this in previous videos, I think. it sounded interesting to me, and he wrote another story that I really enjoyed, so picking that up. I think that's the only other book he has, like only other published book he has, but I'm not positive. Next, another book that I've heard very good things about is Brother by Anaya Allborn. Anaya? I think it's Anaya. I'm gonna go with Anaya. I've heard great things about this, and I'm really excited to get into it, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up as soon as I bought it. I have a habit of doing that though. I'll be really excited and really want to read a book, and then I will buy it, and then I will not pick it up at all. Next is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Again, heard great things about, was really excited to read, bought it, never picked it up. An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Another one that I've heard great things about, bought it, never picked it up. There's the theme. I do this so much, but whatever. I'm hoping I can get to this one. This one I heard nothing about, so I just bought it purely based off of the back, which I can't even remember what it's about, but it's a honker. Yeah. This is a series. Most of these are series, so I'm just going to be adding to the list of series that I need to read and finish. So that's nice, but whatever. Mask of Mirrors. It sounded interesting. When the Moon Hatched. Okay. I technically have started this book before. I was not very interested though. But I feel like I need to really give it a good try before I say absolutely not no. But I feel like, in my opinion, I've only gotten like a few chapters in. Really, I've not really gotten that far into it. But I feel like a lot of thought went into the book design, the cover, the map, the cover page, the glossary, the illustrations at the top of the glossary, and then at the top of each chapter. There's a hair tickling me. I feel like a lot of work went into that. I feel like not a lot of work went into the actual writing of the book. I haven't gotten very far into it, but that's just the vibe I'm getting off rip, which is a shame because it is so pretty, and I'm a sucker for a pretty book. I really am. If I get to that one, I get to it. If I get to it and I hate it, then that sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, Ninth House. Another book that's been on my shelf. I also have Hellbent. I don't know. I bought it, honestly, I bought Hellbent because I liked the cover. And then I didn't realize it was the second one in this, so I had to buy the first one. Yeah, that's about it. It's dark academia-ish. That's about all I got. Okay, this book is the third and final book in a young adult series that I really enjoyed. And these two authors co-wrote the Illuminae cycle, which, is it called the Illuminae? No, the Illuminae Files, which is one of my favorite series, like, ever. It's YA. I love this book, I loved those books, and I loved the first two books in this series, and then I bought, the book is Aurora's End. Then I bought the third book, and I started it. I didn't get past the first chapter, and then I just put it down and have never picked it up again. So I need to just finish the series. It's literally the last book, so I don't know. I need to finish this, though. Okay. So this one's kind of cheating. Not cheating, but I've read this book before, but I'm gonna need to reread it before I continue with the series. Oh, sorry. Zodiac Academy. The Awakening is the first one. I have the second one, but I need to reread the first one in order to read the second one and continue the series. So, this one. Okay. Flawless by Elsie Silver. I love a cowboy romance with Rebel Blue Ranch. I have Flawless. I have the second one. I don't have the third one because they never have it when I'm looking for it. And then I have the fourth one. And then I have Off to the Races. So I need to start somewhere. So I really want to read this. I've had this on my shelf for a long time. Okay, next book, Magnolia Parks. I, for one, love these covers, so that's not mostly why, but I've started this one. It just wasn't the vibe at the time. But I want to read this. I want to read the series. I have the first 4, so I feel like I need to read them now at this point. Yes. Okay, another in a series that I need to finish, Twisted Hate. I enjoyed the first 2. I just need to finish the series. That's all. Okay, another last in the series, Kingdom of Ash. I'm scared. I haven't really enjoyed Throne of Glass the way everybody else seems to have. I enjoyed ACOTAR and Crescent City so much more, so I don't know. I just don't connect to these characters as much. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but this book is huge, and I'm kind of like not scared to start it because I don't dislike a large book. Like, it's fine that it's this big, but I feel like it's gonna take me so long to get through because I'm not that into it and it's so big, but whatever. So, okay, next one, Wicked. I know the movie and the musical are far more lighthearted. I'm just curious though. I feel like I'm so in the world, I need to know more. I need to know where we started. So, yeah. Also, I love this version. I love the, like the illustrations. I think they're so pretty, and I thought the front was cooler than the movie one and cooler than the Broadway one, so whatever. I have 2 more that I don't currently have. I ordered them and they're supposed to be coming today. I guess I'll say those and then I'll get to my last book. I've ordered A Short Stay in Hell, which is really more of a novella because it's only 100 or so pages. And The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I've heard great things about. So those 2, I don't have much to say about them. I've never heard anybody read A Short Stay in Hell. It just sounded interesting to me when I was clicking around on Amazon. So, last but not least, we have Iron Flame. Now, I know I just said Iron Flame put me into a reading slump twice. However, I loved the first book so much that I can't possibly not continue the series. But like, I'm gonna have to listen to this book or something, but I don't know. So I know maybe it's a little crazy to keep going, even though I have been put into a reading slump twice by reading this, but I don't really care. I just want to continue the story, and the actual book and the Kindle book were making it very hard for me. So I'm gonna go audiobook this time, I think. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say, which is probably a lie. I'm really trying to focus on reading my physical TBR and really just making content. I have all of January planned out for the most part. I have some things that I need to plan for February that I'm gonna need to do in January, but I have the whole month planned out, and then I'm gonna I just need to be consistent and really stick with planning ahead of time. I think that's where it gets kind of hard, is planning ahead of time and thinking of things ahead of time, and yeah, just staying on top of it. I do have an actual job, so I obviously cannot spend my whole days just doing this and making no money. But I'm really trying to put forth the effort to maybe get to that point. That would be really cool. Whatever, I'll stop yapping and go back to reading or something. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!